Yes, Reds, how are we doing? Every time I watch that intro, I can see people dancing in the background. I think it was Mike this time. Let's hope we don't have to remove the trophy lift anyway, and that'd be painful. But look, Reds, double shifting today. We've got the big one tomorrow. Thought we'd get these two on. They've been wanting to come on, and obviously I deal with these when it comes to the Red Room on Anfield's Index. Well, Mike is making his debut tonight. Lads, how are we? You've lost the ear. Soon you're going to be like Arnie Slot.
I'm copying him, lad. I'm getting ready to take over. Well, I lost my hair from stress. Is probably what it was, I reckon.
Just watching these bastards.
I've made the Fulham game. I think might have set me over the edge. But yeah, mate, I'm all good. I'm all moved back on now. So ready for the game tomorrow, I think.
I think is the key word, mate. It really is. And Lou, I know you've been on the Redmen today again. Brilliant work, lad. Keep it up. It's hard work, isn't it? Talking about Liverpool at the minute, mate. And do you know what? The reason being is, I think we can all take defeats, Lou. We can take bad performances, but the problem is ours. There's a huge chunk of them, and it gets you down. So I can understand why the mentality of the team, Lou, is down.
Yeah, fucking right. There's so many people keep throwing back to, well, Klopp had stretches of defeats and stretches of losses, and he struggled. But you could at least see that there was a sort of plan in place, and you knew that we would get back to better performances. This past season, these past few months, the past 9 games, even the unbeaten run, there's no sign of it. It's just scrape a win, falter against the team that you should be beaten, and there's no optimism. There's no Ekitike, there's no Salah, there's no sign of incomings that could benefit this squad. There's a weak mentality, a weak mindset, a weak attitude to play, and the fact that we're getting outworked and outran every single match for the past 11 games shows that it's both mental and physical, and there's nothing to get excited about at the moment. As pessimistic as it is from just winning the league, it's the truth.
Yeah, well, it is. And Rick, how are we? Cheer up.
Oh, man, I would cheer up till after tomorrow, maybe a little bit after what's coming tomorrow, mate. I can't be too cheerful with that. But no, I'm all right, mate.
We've got to keep the faith, lad. We're in there. We've got to be fucking making sure the lads feel like they're in there as well, mate. You know, it'll be tough, Rick.
It's going to be massively tough. Like I said, we've got no Ekitike, no Salah. Verts will probably be touch and go, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
And then who else is there? It might have to give old Rio a run out. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, like we've been saying though, this could be the game we win, and they'll just be like, do you know what I mean? What's been going on?
Well, look, Reds, if you just join us, smash a like and subscribe. Do you know, before we go into Arsenal, Mike, I'll be honest, we do some shows together. Not all the time, because there's a few that do the Red Room, as you know. And you're one that doesn't like the negativity, and that's great. People like that. I don't want to talk negative on the Reds because it kills me to see us being like this. But as a whole this season, I've noticed your demeanour change with them. And it's true, the football has massively declined this season. Tell us, where are you at with Liverpool? Because you aren't one that kicks off about them, but you have been vocal on them recently.
Yeah, like for those who don't watch me on the Red Room or don't know me from the Anything Liverpool podcast, I'm far too optimistic for social media, and I've been told that several times. It's really took a toll. It's took its toll. I think the season
ground you down, hasn't it?
It has. It really has. And I think, listen, this season I've really stood, not necessarily up for Slot or up for the team, but I've tried to be reasonable about why things may have not gone the right way. McAllister, he was injured since March. No pre-season. It might take time for him. Isak, injuries. It's going to take time. Of course, what happened with Diego Jota, rest in peace. That takes a massive toll on the players that were there. the amount of players that came in, that's going to take a long time to bed things in. It's not an environment you want to bring players into necessarily with everything going on. And then, you know, even from like the parade being ruined by that absolute tit. I don't know if I can swear on here, but you know,
Yeah,
by that guy.
This isn't no old bad fucking
right.
podcast.
Like, so like it's like that fucking that, you know, there's a fucking knobhead that did that, and the knock-on effect that can have as well. You know, I do think there have been a lot of barriers that maybe we forget at times, and I allowed that at times to not necessarily use as an excuse, but to go, this is, you know, we're slowly building, this is going to take time, this maybe is why this is, etc. But I ran out of patience for a lot of it recently, and weirdly enough, it wasn't a game that we lost, it wasn't a game that we drew, it was a Spurs game. I was actually down south for the Spurs game. I tried to get tickets for the Spurs game, and I fell through last minute. So I was devastated. I was in Crystal Palace. That's completely valid. I was at Crystal Palace with my friend, and we were at a bar, and we were talking. And we were talking with these two lads that were Spurs fans, and they're having a shit time as well. You know, Spurs were having a rough time with Frank, and they said, "I can't believe you haven't sacked Slot." You know, and at this point, we're winning, and I'm like, no, actually, this is not looking bad. As soon as we conceded, I could not believe the reaction. I could not. Listen, I was on social media actually defending it, kind of being like, "Oh, you know, we still got through. 3 points is 3 points." But internally, I could not believe the reaction. And Carragher, I know he's not everyone's cup of tea at the moment, pointed something out that really concerned me. The coaches on the side were telling our team to step up 10 yards, and the players did not respond.
There's no cohesion between
there was no cohesion. There was no listening, and that doesn't happen. Yeah, that doesn't happen normally. And then that's followed
not
on
Liverpool.
by
Not at Liverpool. No, the coach usually has the team firing, not ignoring.
Yeah. No, and they look to him. Normally, you think the coach at Liverpool, the manager at Liverpool, they look to him. Even Linda's I know people aren't the biggest fan of Linda's was loved within the club. The players loved Linda's. So when Linda spoke, they listened. When Klopp spoke, they listened. When Slot spoke last year, they listened. I don't see that anymore. And then it was followed by an Anfield game with, and this isn't to discredit the fans because the fans had no reason to get up, one of the worst atmospheres I've seen at Anfield under the lights ever.
Oh, yeah. This when you went with Mo?
No, actually, I liked that game. That was Brighton. That was when I still at home. The Brighton game. I came away from the Brighton game with Mo around my arm, like, no, I'm telling you, we're back. Yeah. But not say la vie. But no, that game was Leeds. The Leeds game. I couldn't believe it. But no reason to get on our feet. There was no patterns of play. There was no pressure. The press was terrible. We were 5 yards off the pace, 5 yards off the ball. Passes weren't clear. The subs were so predictable and at the same time nonsense. The fans had no reason to get on the feet, and that was where I just disconnected. The Spurs was halfway through the door. Leeds game pushed me out the door, and I don't see where this comes back round. I just don't see it at the moment.
It's very true, mate. And Lou, again, I always talk to you. You're great with the stats and stuff like that, and you must have seen a turn in the worst. You do the data stuff, and whether it be on Anfield Index or Redmen, you're always on there. And as I say, but you probably see a lot more stats than most people because you do a lot of work on different channels, and obviously yourself, you go in depth on it. The numbers are really down, and I agree with Neil here. The manager's now starting to look lost for words. Yeah. He's chatting in fucking gibberish. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, Lou, now people, he's under the spotlight more. Even if last season, if he was talking like this, people would have just kind of turned a blind eye to it. But not now. You can't pull the wool over the fans' eyes anymore. Certainly not after the performances. And Lou, Mike as well. Like for instance, on Mike's situation, he's usually upbeat. Look how down he is. So I think now, Lou, I'd say 80%. I'd say 80% of the fan base now are like, he's got to go.
I honestly think if he was putting in these performances last season, I think we'd be feeling the same. Because it's not a case of you can handle a loss. I can take a loss. I can take when we lost 3-0 to Watford in those early seasons with Klopp. I can take, like, there's too many to think of another one, but it's the performance. It's the way we act. It's the way we react. We're so just negative in every aspect, and it's rubbing off on us. And I've said so many times, and so many people give me flack back for it, regardless of if this is Hodgson Rodgers, Klopp, Dalglish, any manager, any player, the very least I expect is effort. I expect work rate. I expect you to put the shift in that you are there to do for this club and for us and for yourselves, even as players. Like you said then, when players were told to push up and they just completely ignored it, it's because they were scared to do it. We've been outran in the last few matches, since the Brentford match. We've been outworked. We have more of the ball, which is affecting that, yes. But in the same breath, we've had the 4th most shots in the league this season, with the lowest shot on target percentage of any team in the division. We are so ineffective going forward, and we have there's no desire, there's no commitment to get forward. It's pass it out wide, see if someone can get in the middle, but no fuckers running into the box to actually get on the end of the balls, pass it back to the midfield, who will do nothing and just end up shooting from distance and it goes fucking nowhere. It's rinse and repeat, and it's not working. And then you've got Slot coming out saying,
it's shit.
It's shit. You've got them coming out afterwards going, oh, we were unlucky because the first attempt Fulham had, they scored. That's not luck. That's your setup being easy to break through. It's nothing to do with luck. It's you set up this team in a defensive way, which leaves them fully exposed. You've got no sort of cohesion in the back line. You've got staff trying to tell the players what to do who aren't interested, and people who just cannot put in the effort, whether it's they can't be asked or they're not able to. It's got to change, because if we go to Arsenal and get absolutely battered, I don't think Slot's going anywhere. I think the club will say to him, right, there is mitigating circumstances. You've had injuries. The Jota thing was obviously tragic. You've had loads of players leave. I think the club have said to him, look, you're safe in your job. We just need to see some sort of progression. But if we get twatted 5-6-0 by Arsenal or 4-0 or just have absolutely run rings around us, something has got to change drastically, because we are the champions. Like Szoboszlai said today, the mentality is there for certain players. It's like they're being restricted in what they can and can't do. And there's
obviously
so
have
many.
A problem, Lewis. There's a problem there. A few of them have brought it up. They're saying the same shit.
Yeah, Maka said it. Salah said it. Szoboszlai's having to come out and say, right, okay, fucking, we're the champions. We should be fucking going there and not playing against the champions elect. It's just, there's so many problems deep-rooted now, and it's mental that a year ago we just won the league, and it's just mental how things have changed in 12 months. I can't get my head around it.
Lou, just on that, because you've mentioned there, just about sort of like how Slot is in the media and how Slot is sort of presenting himself as well. Do you believe what he says? Do you think there's anything valid in what he's saying? Because you say when he comes out in the press, because I think this is one thing that I do. And this is not me being Mr. Positive. I do think there's maybe an overreaction at times to some of the things he says in the media. I really do.
He's under though, isn't it?
He comes out and says, we can't play a low block. And then we play a team that doesn't play the low block and they still beat us. He says, it's because our striker's not up to full fitness. But then when he is playing, he's not scoring. He says, we're unlucky because the first chance Fulham score, they score. But then they score later on in the match because no one's putting pressure on the attacker with the ball or the defender with the ball. So he constantly says, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong, but does nothing to address it. And then the exact same problem or the complete opposite problem occurs. And you go, right, what's the excuse this time? If he said, right, we can't play a low block, but then we played a team that pushed higher and we absolutely thumped them, fair enough, I'd get that. City played that way and twatted us.
Yeah, they did. Look, what I kind of see is I see someone who's plugging 3 holes and then another hole appears. So you know how we
get that. Yeah,
one area and another fucking leaks open.
Because look at his press conference today. He's openly admitted we're not playing attractive football, and he takes genuine personal insult. From what I've seen, he takes genuine personal insult in the fact that people are saying we don't play attractive football, but he takes this insult in the fact that he has to kind of agree because it's not his brand of football. So he's aware that what kind of bothers me, and Lou and Rick as well, and obviously sorry to take up so much time here.
Yeah, no, you haven't been on here for a while. Have a little go on.
Yeah. Have a little go with it. What concerns me a little bit, I don't know whether it concerns is the right word. Slot isn't oblivious. I think that people compare him to Rodgers. I never buy it. I never buy the comparison. He's aware of the issue. He's not naive. He's aware of the issues because he says them in every press conference. But he reminds me of Rafa, where there is a stubbornness of players he likes and doesn't like. There's a stubbornness.
He's got his set of stall out now, Mike. Certain players he's just not going to fucking play, is he?
Yeah, and you see that in the way he talks about. I hate the way he talks about Harvey Elliott. I hate it.
We've
really
had this
do.
chat on here so much about that. And do you know what? It's like this kid plays for Liverpool. You know, Rick, you've had a big say on that Harvey Elliott situation. And also, I want to bring up something you boys have both just said there to Rick, and that was the fact that they're shitting themselves. I look at Liverpool, and you know, we had this chat yesterday, Rick. Liverpool look like a team that are petrified to lose. And I don't know if these boys watched our show yesterday, but I don't know if you see me on some of the shows. I was kind of reflecting from our shows into Anfield Index, and obviously Born and Red. Shout out to them boys. But Rick, that goal at Fulham, like that wonder strike, fucking Jagielka, 99 out of 100 of them are fucking floating down the Thames. Rick. Do you know what I mean? But the Liverpool players show no urgency to get out of that ball. They're scared of like fucking the ball going over the top, back post header going in. They're a petrified team, aren't they?
Yeah, except for the Reed goal, yeah, the second one. Yeah. Like we said yesterday, there should have been someone out there a lot quicker than what any of them did. We can't defend. That's what I think it purely based on.
Yes,
Van Dijk and Konate just seem to be Sunday league level defenders when a ball bounces in the box. They don't know what to do with it. We've seen it a few times this season where both of them are both swung for the same ball and missed. But going back to the slot thing, where he might know what he's looking at and what needs addressing, but he tactically can't. He's tactically not up there to do it. He can't sort these issues out. This low block stuff he keeps talking about is absolute nonsense. It's like everyone just plays low block against Liverpool. It's not. City come up against it. Arsenal come up against it. Sometimes Chelsea come up against it. These teams manage to find ways to...
When you win the title, everyone's near enough a fucking low block.
Exactly. It's a cup final against us against every team because we won the league last season. So everyone's saying, let's beat the champions. The thing that winds me up most about Slot when he talks in press conferences, interviews, he mentions PSG all the time. Lad, let it go. We are not PSG. We don't have the personnel to do it. Listen, I'll happily do a swap deal. He goes PSG, we get Enrique. I'll take it. Just get him. Get him.
I'm fucking sure you would, lads.
Mate, get him to where he wants to be. He wants to be at PSG. It's clear as day. It's the way he sets us up in games as well. Our midfield's non-existent. One pass through the midfield, we're done. People slate Konate off and the defence off. I half feel sorry for them in games. There's no protection in front of them because we haven't got a ball reader in midfield who can see what the next pass is going to be and to cut the lanes out. We don't have that. No. If we had that, I'm not saying
as many goals.
No, I'm not saying that you'll be able to stop every through ball coming past from their defence. That's why I don't think we press no more, because if we press, we'll get cut to pieces with a pass. We sit in games, we're too nice. We have 4 players around one player, and they still manage to come out with the ball and pick a pass.
I think there's a difference, though, with the way we talk about the press. Liverpool under Klopp, they pressed in threes, you know, the front three and then the midfield three back them up. Now it's 1-for-1, and it's fucking pointless. It's easy for teams to pass around this Liverpool press.
But half our midfield can't move.
Well, I don't even know what's happened to the midfield this year. They've been absolutely fucking destroyed in the brain. It's caused a big problem in midfield this year, Mike. This player's certainly off it. McAllister being one, I'm one of his biggest fans, Mike.
So am I, Jesus.
Mike,
maybe there's a few things. He looks like, do you know what? Exactly what he said the other day. When he said, well, we're probably not going to win the league. That's exactly how his performances look to me. He's kind of give up a bit. He looks like he's fucking give up a bit. And no Liverpool player can ever do that. Certainly not tomorrow, Mike. And tomorrow is a game whereby I understand, Mike, why Arsenal are going to be right up for this. Because if it was the shoe was on the other foot, let's say we hadn't been winning titles, for instance, we come short a little bit, and we were coming up against Arsenal at Anfield, we would make a big fucking song and dance about it. That's what they're going to do. And I just think that midfield's going to come under some pressure tomorrow, and they can't go hiding.
Yeah, no, they can't. Like, I think you say if the shoe, we've seen it. Every time we played City under Klopp, every time we played City, and it's the same thing. Arsenal see this as you beat Liverpool. That's one foot on the trophy. Well, one hand on the trophy.
100% it is. 100% it is. Yeah.
And it is. And the reality is, I think they're fighting a wounded dog, to say the least. the midfield, I mean, Jones, I love him, but he's inconsistent. Soboslai, I think, gets away with murder at times, but he's worked so fucking hard where I can't discredit him. In a team where I question work rate, I'm never gonna discredit him.
I question
because of how hard he works.
the output more. He's got to win games more for Liverpool, I think, because that was like
he does.
He's been brought in as like a Steven Gerrard type of player, grabbing games by the scruff of the neck. I don't think he does enough of that.
I don't, and when he does do it, there's very few players who do. But when but the thing is as well with Dom is we know he can do it because when he has done it, he's done it. Yeah. That's kind of the thing for me. Mac is I love him. I don't want to discredit the boy. He's having a very bad season, and unfortunately, because of the way social media works, people have suddenly rewritten his history at Liverpool. He was literally Liverpool's best midfielder for 18 months. He was our best midfield signing since Alonso for an 18-month period, and I stand on that. I'm not gonna rewrite history in any way. Right, he was. And Gravenberch, one of the players of the season last year, he looks more like what he looked like under Klopp than he did under Slot last year. I don't know whether that's setup. I don't know whether that's personnel. I don't know what that is. And then, unfortunately, away from that, Endo doesn't exist anymore. I think he's injured. He's just disappeared. And then Nyoni doesn't really get minutes. And when he does, for some reason, he's playing in the false nine. That's our midfield. You know, it's a weird one because I feel like last year our midfield was probably our strongest point. It was. With the forward line, it was incredible. And now I don't know. I don't really know where to go with it. The one thing I can say for tomorrow is I do think, for better or worse, we'll be compact. I don't see Arsenal slicing us open. And listen, Slot, for better or worse, in the last 10 games, it's been fucking awful to watch. We have been compact. We have been. And we have been better defensively. Not in a way that I think I can say is a compliment. But
no, it's not.
All the same.
No.
I'm not saying that's a big slot up by any means, but we have been more compact defensively in the last 10 games. So we're not going to go out there against Arsenal and play like a Jurgen Klopp team. We're not going to go out there and play like we did under Dalglish, where it was just like, ping it to a corner, make something happen. It is going to be a case of you're sitting behind the ball and you get through, win a couple of moments, see what you can do in those moments, but that's it. So I think it's going to be a dogged performance. If you come away, I never thought I'd say this about the Emirates. If you come away with a point, you take a point. You come away with a point, you take it.
Absolutely. Look, there's over 60 in the house. Smash a like and subscribe. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Lou, it's one of the most confused I am as a Liverpool supporter at how you win the league and you fall off again the next year. I do agree with the boys. The midfield is a problem. And I think we're going up possibly against the best midfield functioning midfields in the league tomorrow. They found a way to make it work. And I think all this nicey shit's going to get found out tomorrow, because I think you're going to have the likes of Declan Rice throwing his weight around tomorrow. I'll tell you what, mate, one thing I will say, I know we talk about the energetic from Szoboszlai, but I watched Declan Rice in that Bournemouth game, mate, talking fucking energy, lad. He was up, down, sprinting, tackling, shooting, fucking scoring. For me, he's on a different level this year, and it's kind of elevated them into the first position. Liverpool cannot sit off these too much and start letting them fucking dictate play. Because, mate, I was there last year. We're going to be there tomorrow. I can't be giving fucking like the likes of Saka space again. Because do you know if they score early, Luke? That's where Liverpool could really fucking find it hard tomorrow, mate.
Well, I said that earlier on today. I was like, we can't go to this match. We've got to try and kill the atmosphere quick. And it's not going to happen. It's just what I'm wishing for.
Well, they're making a big
like
song and dance, as we said.
We can't let Arsenal dictate the game, because when we let Wolves dictate the game, we fucking struggle. So we can't do it against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? They're top of the league for a reason. And you touched on that midfield there. Declan Rice this season,
amazing.
His passes into the final third are 8.05 a match, I believe. I've got him up. And then the penalty area, he's got 2.2 a match. He's increased from last year in both of those metrics. He's constantly getting better and better because he's a late runner into the box. And that's the major worry area for me, is Liverpool at the moment in the centre of the pitch defensively are so exposed. That Fulham game in particular, the bit where Konate and Alisson both go for the ball and Harry Wilson's the first to it. There's no number 6 there to win that ball. There's no one there to win the ball back. That is a big area we're going to struggle because of Arsenal's late runners into the box. And even if you manage to nullify him and Erdegaard or Zubimendi or Marino, You've then got to deal with Saka, potentially Eze, Trossard, all these wide players. There's just so many different avenues that they can attack from. So the best way to do it is not to let them pick and choose how they want to attack. It's to put them under pressure. The most we've looked like ourselves in this 9-game win and run was the first half against Brighton, because immediately we got at them. We got straight to them, won the ball, and scored in the first minute. And there's a reason for that. That's because we put them under pressure. If you let Arsenal do what they want, they'll bully us in their ground, because the atmosphere recently, that Villa game, it was loud. You can't let them get like that.
They're going to go up a few levels, Lou, tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's the atmosphere is going to be, they are going to be right up for this. So the best thing we can do, kill them with pressure early on. Yeah. Just try and take the sting out of it. If they go the other end and score, what have we got to lose at this point? Because worst case scenario, we get absolutely thumped, and then who knows what happens with the manager. Just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. We're not in a title race. I'm happy just to at least make a good account of ourselves in terms of putting them right under the cosh and trying to make something happen. None of this timid, standoffish, they might bully us. We're Liverpool, for fuck's sake. We're going to there to show them that we are the champions, not to be bullied like we were at the Etihad. It should not be our mindset.
Lou, I agree with that, but put emotion aside. Is it not? You're not better off being more pragmatic here. If you go gun for leather, right, and let's say we make a great account of ourselves performance-wise for 30 minutes, and then we can see 3 goals before half-time because we're fucking wider than, I'm not saying that, we're wide, right? So we're spread. I caught myself there. But you know what I mean? Like, if suddenly you're 3-0 down at half-time, everyone's going to be pissed off anyway, because then everyone's going to go, why were you playing like that? Would you rather be 3-0 down at half-time where we've made a good account of ourselves playing like that, or at 0-0? Playing like
I'd rather get to the second half and maybe try and be a bit more risky in the second half and try.
I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely correct. Like, that's absolutely fine with me. My thought to it is, if you try and play more pragmatic and compact against them, Arsenal at the moment, the run of form they're on, they're dominating teams, smashing them. If we stand off and let them just sort of try and play pragmatic and try and just make sure we don't concede, we haven't got the defensive capabilities to do that. And I just think they will get a goal. And then at that point, we haven't got the attacking threat or the attacking firepower to score a goal ourselves. There's no Ekitike, there's no Salah, there's no Isak. We'd be relying on that midfield to push forward and put them under pressure. If they get that first goal early on, we have shown this season we do not have the ability to score past a defence that, let alone an Arsenal defence that is the best in Europe. I know we did it against Fulham and we are scoring, but it's coming from lucky situations. It's coming from slapping Frimpong on the right wing and crossing a ball in, and hopefully someone's in the middle of the box, or Ekitike producing a moment of magic. We've got Gakpo up front. We've got 2 midfielders on the wings. The best thing I think we can do is just go at them and just at least try to show that we are there to win the game.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Someone, I don't know what I think will potentially happen to start the game, Rick. I think we're personally going to see maybe what we did in Inter Milan. Sit in there and see how we can get on in the first 20 minutes. Liverpool there concede early, Rick. There could be curtains for them. So I agree with both the lads. I agree with Lou. I'd love to see them be a bit more expansive. Probably I don't think the manager will. He's scared to lose his fucking job. And I agree with Mike. Liverpool have got to stay in the game as long as possible. We may not be the most confident team. I think our mentality's plummeted massively. But we've got to have a say in this title race, Rick. We're not going to win, so let's fucking make it difficult for them. That's why I hope Man City win tonight, Rick. We get a little bit of pressure put on Arsenal, because then we can fucking have a say tomorrow. I don't want them to win the league. I'm fucking sick of seeing them. Their stands look like a fucking stag do. You know what I mean? Dickheads with fucking drums and all that shit. Fucking sit down, not bad. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Full of shite, Rick. But as I say, Liverpool, we've got to act like champions, mate. I think we've just lost our way big style this season. The manager's got to show a bit of bollocks. Stop standing there with your hands in your pants. Get out there and fucking tell these players what to do, Rick.
Yeah, the first 20 minutes is crucial tomorrow, but I just can't. Like, they're going to just go gung for ho against us in the first 20 minutes because they know we're fragile.
Yeah.
And I can't see us holding off that first 20 minutes onslaught the way we are. It's going to be so easy to play through our midfield. It's going to be interesting to see who he picks at left back. For me, it's got to be Robbo. I know Robbo gets hard game against Saka these days, but it needs to be someone that's played in these big games. We need a bit of defensive stability. But I'm telling you now, I can't see them not scoring in the first 20 minutes because the back line just is not confident in what they're doing at the minute. We don't know how to stop certain things in games. It takes one ball here, one ball there, and teams are in on us having a shot. Fulham score with their first chance. So you can imagine what Arsenal are going to do with their first chance if they're sort of through like that. And like I keep saying, like, regardless, like, I think we get slapped tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think they absolutely do a job on us. And like I've been saying to you for the last couple of days, Arne Slot is the interim manager now till the end of the season. That is it. There is no one else to come in to be an interim. He is going to be that till the end of the season. Then he's gone because he's not turning this around. It's gone too shit for him to be able to turn this around, get players back on board. Because I've said to you, players have stopped playing for him. They're not playing for him. You can see with some of the tackles that are being put in, we're not winning duels of players. We're not taking the ball off players. We're not getting stuck in games. We're just letting teams ride by us. Fulham, Leeds, Sunderland, like these teams are just now coming with confidence to play us. Because that Fulham team is shit. I'm not asked. That Fulham team is shit. This Liverpool team should be beating teams like that, beating teams like Leeds at home. The guy was nearly sacked before we played them at Ellen Road. He managed to get a 3-3 draw against us. And he's drew at Anfield, so his job's secure. For me, it's now just ride through the season under Slot because they're not going to get rid of him now. And see what we do in the Champions League because this league is shit. Make no mistake about it, this league is shit with teams. Liverpool will get top 4, top 5 Champions League place because the rest of the league shit. Chelsea is shit.
Oh, Ricky, I disagree with that, you know.
What, you
I didn't think you were going that way, you know. I agree that United is shit. I agree Chelsea is shit. I think, oh, fuck me. No, you know what? Maybe I've got this completely wrong. And tell me I'm wrong. I'm fine saying I'm wrong. I think we might have the best quality bottom half the league seen for a long time. I've never seen a team come up and play.
Yeah, but not.
But that's where we're. No, I hear you on that, and that's what I agree with you on us getting the Champions League football. Yeah. I was just being clear. I think the quality of the league, because you mentioned Fulham is shit, you mentioned Leeds is shit, but I genuinely think the quality there. I'm not making an excuse, by the way. I agree we should beat them, but I do think there is there's an old-fashioned feeling where it's like Leeds away, we should knock that 4-0, or Sunderland away, or Sunderland at home, we should knock that 4-0. Sunderland have been a fucking right team this year. They've given everybody, even away, mate, they've given everybody a game this year. They've given everybody a game. I'm not saying that deserve, by the way, we should have beat them. I'm not saying anything about that. But I do think sometimes we get in our heads, that's only Sunderland, that's only these. I do think the Premier League at this point, though, this bottom half of the table, man, it's very, like Bournemouth, the bottom half. People forget this. Bournemouth, the bottom half. Bournemouth give everybody a game. Like, not to disagree with you, but yeah. I just think it's an interesting one, isn't it?
It is. I know. I understand what everyone's saying. I think the problem is the style of football's changed, and we've gone the opposite way to them all. We've allowed these teams to have a bit more of a front foot approach. And my problem is you're always going to have problems in football if you're slow. I think Liverpool are slow, very slow. Do you know what I haven't seen? So I'll come to you on this, Lou. Because you do the stats and stuff, and you break things down. When was the fucking last time you seen this midfield slide tackle? When was the last time you seen our goalkeeper fucking launch the ball out with the throw, Lou, and put us on the front foot? I can't remember seeing this for a long time, lads. Everything is like, stop the ball, roll it down, let them back into their shape, just fucking slow sideways. You're never going to do well in the Premier League like that. So to me, there's no reason as to why we're being so shit.
Do you know when we played one moment in that Fulham game that was so telling of how mediocre our passing is at the moment? It's when Curtis Jones puts that through ball through to Gakpo and he ended up putting it wide. Every player, the 5 midfielders, Verts, Maka, Szoboszlai, Kerkez, and I think Bradley was high up as well at that point. All of them are like froze. They don't know what to do. Because there's no one attempting those balls. So they all jog back and shit themselves. No one is used to that type of ball. And it's just You can't beat every City made it look easy the way they played. They broke football because every team wants to try and play like it. But if you go down to League Two, to us, no team can perfectly replicate what City did. It will not be done. You can't break down every team with the same style of play and pass and range. Sometimes you have to go long and lump it. Sometimes we did it fucking last season when we played City at the Etihad. We sat back and counter-attacked and hit them with long balls, and we won 2-0, and it should have been 4-5 more than that. You can't win every team. So when he's coming out today and saying, oh, it's boring to watch, but it's effective, it's not effective. There's no effective. If that was a Jurgen Klopp team, if that was Mane or Salah or Firmino, and I know they're otherworldly players before, I'm comparing people to that, but I can guarantee you, if Curtis Jones had put that ball through to Mane, Salah or Firmino would be busting along to try and get alongside and just to give him an option, not jogging there.
Trying an easy goal for Liverpool, that Lou.
Sorry?
It'd be a piss easy goal. Liverpool would have scored that.
Exactly. If you had someone sprinting, I literally did a breakdown of it. No player is in a sprint to even try and catch up with him. Maybe it's because he's miles ahead. Maybe it's because they think, oh, he's got this. But someone should be at least making that chance and trying to do it. All season long, we've been playing where midfielders sort of hang around the edge of the box, get the ball passed to them from Gakpo cutting inside, and then it goes to the other side of the pitch. The one time you've got a player who needs support, there's no fucker there. No one's offering them the help. We've got players trying to cross the ball into the box, but there's no one in there. You've got people trying to put it at the back post. There's no one at the back post. This is why I think Frimpong tomorrow has to start, because at least when he plays, he tries to beat the man and go around the outside. At least he tries something different.
Only thinking forward.
Yeah, only thinking forward. And I want that. I understand that I'm being emotional with it and not it probably wouldn't work in a tactical sense. That's why I'm not a manager. But I want to see that. I want someone who will try to take on a man. I want someone who will try and play off the shoulder of the last man, run into space, try to make things happen. That's why Mane was so beloved, because at least he looked never scared to take on someone. He'd do it. So I'm sick of this stagnant, stand around, hope the ball gets passed to me. When I do get it, I shit myself and pass it off to the wide player who will inevitably cross it to no one in the box. They'll win the ball back and they counter-attack us.
Do you know what? You bang on. Like, all I've seen this season, mate, is Bradley will get the ball. He'll go forward 10 yards. He'll turn around. He spent more time fucking looking at Alisson this season. And I'm getting fucked off with him. He's doing me head in. But look, there's over 70 and 80 in and out of the show. Smash a like and subscribe. Mike, so we've got a dilemma tomorrow. We've got injuries. Arsenal look like they've got a fair few back, it seems. They're going to be pretty stacked out there on the pitch. Liverpool obviously have the issue with the Ekitike situation, Mike. So obviously, Liverpool being front-footed slowly dies off a notch. Do you know what I mean? We can't just be on that front foot like we usually are and we want to be. So I do get it. I do get what you said. Liverpool are going to have to hang in the game for me. They're going to try and sit it. The longer it goes 0-0, Mike, maybe favours us. But I think the lineup tomorrow, we've got a bit of a few issues for me. But I agree with Luke. Frimpong has to start, because who else have we fucking got, really?
Well, you look at the lineup. I think Alisson's in goal. I do think the back four picks itself. It is Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robbo. You put Kirkers in, but
fullbacks tomorrow.
I think Kirkers personally.
I think maybe Kirkers as well. What do you say about two fullbacks? Sorry,
I'm guessing that you said Bradley to start, but would you be playing two fullbacks in this game?
I'd be starting Frimpong right wing.
You would?
I think Frimpong's a guaranteed start. I think if he wasn't starting, he would have started on the weekend. That's my kind of view. I think Frimpong starts right wing. I think your midfield is Grav, Jones, Szoboszlai, because I do think Mac has fallen, not out of favour, but I don't think Mac starts at the moment under slot if everyone's fit. Yep. So I think Jones is in there. I think Sob's in there. And I think on your left is probably the only question, because Gakpo is going to be in number 9. So do you put Wirtz in this game? Or do you bring him off the bench? Because Wirtz is very... he's not fit at the moment. His fitness has been... No, I don't think he's fit. I think he's still playing very well, by the way. I think if you're talking about small silver linings, I think Frimpong has been a silver lining, and I think Wirtz has been a silver lining. I don't know whether you start Wirtz yet. If you don't start Wirtz and you're putting Mac in and you're putting Szoboszlai in, and that means I don't know what you're doing there, unless you want to do Robbo and Kirkes on the left, because he's done that briefly for 10-minute stints in games. So you could go Frimpong, Robbo either side. You could. I don't think he will, because that's out of the box thinking that I don't think Slot will do. Slot's far too pragmatic. He's just going to put players where he knows players play. So the left wing is probably the only question for me. I think everything else picks itself.
It is interesting, Rick. It is interesting. It's quite a hard team to pick. Do you know what? This is the weirdest thing, right? Over the years, Rick, when you watch Liverpool, we know the best team. I couldn't tell you what our fucking best team is at the minute, lads. And we're how many games in? That's fucking crazy. Rick, what would be your 11?
My 11. So obviously, with Ali in goal, the defence picks itself. I'd go Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai, Frimpong. I'd go Rio on the left, and it's going to be Gakpo in it down the middle because he's Slot's love child. But I'd go Rio because it gives some questions to Arsenal's back line with Rio's little bit of pace and a bit of trickery. It's something different. Not a lot of teams have seen this season because he's been hidden in Slot's basement. But it'd be interesting. And it depending how the game goes. Listen, I'm not Chiesa's biggest fan, but I'd stick if Gakpo's not doing it for me. I'd be bringing Chiesa on quite early if it's not working, because Gakpo's is slow. There's barely any movement. He's predictable. So Chiesa could come on. At least Chiesa runs around and chases after people to try and get the ball off of them. But that would be the team I'll go with. And then depending how the scoreline is, if it's 0-0 after 55, 60 minutes, depending how fit Wirtz is, I'll bring him on to try and help Rio get into the game. If Rio's struggling, to try and get into the game a little bit more with quick passing, because who knows, he could slot Rio in with a ball, and who knows what he could do with it.
Do you know what, right? It's going to be interesting tomorrow. I have a feeling he may go Szoboszlai right back tomorrow, you know. I have a feeling he may do it.
You can't do that when you've got two fit right backs.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Do you know what? I can see him doing it. I really can. And the reason being is he gets all four midfielders into the game then. And as I say, you know...
That's on the front foot, though. Would you say that's on the front foot? You want to be on the front foot? That's giving you the passing range from right back.
Because the reason why I say that is, if he puts Szoboszlai at the right back, he'd be able to have the three midfielders in there, and he can keep Frimpong right wing, Gakpo, and I think he can start off the left tomorrow. And I think, do you know what I mean? I think that's the only, he can't drop one of them midfielders, so one of them's going to have to be shoehorned somewhere. And let's be honest, if we were going to say a midfielder to be shoehorned, not that I agree with it, he's going to go with Dom, isn't he? Going right back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So, I'm just looking at it there. See, I'd be starting Kirkes tomorrow because I just think when I was there last year, fucking Saka give Robbo a nightmare. To be honest,
yeah.
Give him a nightmare in the first half, and it was just one of them. I think he really struggled, and I just think we need aggressive fuckers out there. Kirkes is aggressive. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to see him booting fuck out of Saka because it puts him under pressure, and it makes him a bit wary of launching towards him. Do you know what I mean? But do you know, if I'm looking at that front line tomorrow, I agree. I'd be going Frimpong right wing. Gakpo's got it. This is what pissed me off the other day. When I was looking at that Fulham game, I was seeing the front line and I was thinking, Gakpo needs to be close to the goal. He scored more goals than the others. Put him down the middle and he kept him out wide. And I'm like, lads, it's little things like that. I'm thinking, you're not doing yourself any favours, Arnie. Do you know what I mean? Gakpo, if he's the one scoring goals, put him fucking down the middle. Do you know what I mean? And I just think he's got a big dilemma tomorrow. I just think the other option is that if Bradley plays right back, could you see John playing off the left-hand side and Florian and being on the bench?
No, I don't think Szoboszlai on the left particularly offers you a lot. I don't think he particularly does on the right either, but I think Wirtz will make his way into this team, to be honest.
He needs to get him in. If he's 80%, he's got to fucking play him. Because Lou gives you the option second half to throw Rio in the mix then, doesn't it?
It does.
He's not going to throw Rio in the mix. He's not going to throw Rio in the mix. We're saying that, but he's not going to.
It's
But
easy
he's
for us
squad
to sit here and say he'll give Rio a chance. We got told at the beginning of the season he was going to get his chances, and he fucking doesn't. Even when he scores the winner against Newcastle, if it was what I think he's going to do, he'll be Gakpo down the middle, it'll be Verts on the left, and I would like to see Frimpong on the right. But he'll probably go with Szoboszlai there. He'll probably start Frimpong at right back or something daft like that. We're going to get twatted, and then he'll be like, oh well, we were unlucky. Bunch of wham. If it's what I want, do you know what? I don't think Gakpo down the middle particularly works. I don't think it's a particularly... He proved under Klopp he can sort of do it to a level, but he's not great at it. I think Chiesa going through the middle is a much more effective player.
I think he's got a great strike as well, Fede.
He does. He's got a great strike, and he'll play off the shoulder of the last man. And I think given how high Arsenal can press, and the Bournemouth game, the two centre-backs are very stretched. There's a lot of open space for him to work with there. And I just don't think Gakpo is effective with it. Whereas Chiesa, like the Newcastle game in the Cup last season and earlier on this season against Southampton, he's very good at playing that style. So I would like to see him through the middle, but it's going to be Chiesa. It'll be Verts. And
if Bradley starts right back, Robbo will start left back. Sorry, if Frimpong starts right back, Lou, he'll start Robbo left back. Because Frimpong is going to be getting up, isn't he?
Yeah, but Frimpong up top is the best at the moment. He's the best attacking outlet we've got, and I just think if you start Jones, if you put Robbo there, you're essentially saying, right, you're the left back, get forward, get back. If you start Curtis Jones and Milos Kerkez, Jones often drops into that left back role and gives Kerkez the freedom to venture forward, and it stretches the attack more. And I think that's the best thing we can do. Then if you had a Chiesa through the middle, there's much more space for him to work with because the defenders are getting stretched trying to keep up with Kerkez, who's going forward, and Verts, who's cutting inside. You can pull them in places. So for me, I think that is the best effective way of attacking them while also making sure we're structurally a bit more solid defensively.
It is. We've got an Arsenal fan in the house. Been quite respectful as well, and that's really good. Look, shout out to you and appreciate your comments as well. They are. I've seen his comments. Confidence. I can understand it. I'd be confident if I was playing against Liverpool at the minute. But the one thing is, you never know what you're going to get from us, lads. And I tell you what, fucking hell, it'd be very Liverpool-like if they go there and do something. We've seen some mad shit. Liverpool do things, boys, the hard way. We ain't fucking taking any easy route to us, you know what I mean? It would be Liverpool-like if they went there and fucking beat them, but have had two stinkers the previous game and then get fucking rolled over by Burnley. That's how fucking mad Liverpool is.
No, Ben, I'll give you a prediction that probably won't come true, but just in my gut. Right. 1-0 win. We're gonna Lou, you're gonna love this. We'll nick a goal early, right? It'll be from a corner, right? Because that'll be the irony. And then hey, it'll be from a corner, right? And it's gonna be a case of all the men behind the ball and we just grind through and somehow win 1-0. That's what I can see.
I'd fucking take that. No, lads.
That'd be just for the irony.
Hang on,
what?
sorry. 1 sec. Oh, no. No, there's no pigs in the sky. Don't worry, guys. We're all right.
Yeah, fucking hell. Do you know? And you're usually optimistic, Lou.
I love the optimism, by the way. I love it.
None of it like you're shooting them out the sky.
Lou, you'll be up here with me. I've suddenly just got another wave of optimism. Slot contract extension inbound this week.
But this is it, boys. Arsenal haven't lost a game at home. The thought is there for them. The confidence is there. If they want to go and win the league, Rick, you've got to beat the fucking current Premier League champions. But I hope Liverpool make it fucking difficult for them. With all due respect, I don't, some of the Arsenal fan base fucking wind me up. This is a respectful guy, so, fair play to him. Being in the comments. Yeah, big up to him. If you just join us, smash like, subscribe. It's the predictions time, Rick. Predictions time. One, I've 2 questions each for you, because obviously Mike wants his kip, so we're going to get him to bed in a minute. All you have to do is watch some highlights, Mike, if you're struggling to sleep, watch some highlights of Fulham. You'll be fucking sleep in seconds. Rick,
I'm going to put that on in a minute.
2 questions, Rick. Scoreline, and does Ekitike make the bench?
Ekitike don't make the bench, and Arsenal to win 3-0.
All right, we may as well just fuck it off then.
Wait, listen, I just can't see anything else, mate. The way we're playing and the way we get set up, they'll just run through us.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little watch of this game, see what's cracking. Because to be honest, if City win, I just think it puts a bit of pressure on Arsenal tomorrow, Mike. But same question to you, Mike. And look, appreciate you coming on today, lads.
Oh, of course, lad. Oh, yeah, absolutely, lad. Honestly, glad to be on. And if you ever want me on again, if you ever want some beautiful optimism, I'm always down to come on. Always.
And all this shit.
Pigs are flying in the sky, mate. Don't you worry. I'll tell you the game I'm watching tonight, by the way, which will 100% send me to sleep. I'm going to watch the Everton Wolves game. Don't ask me why. Lou, I've got a really good feeling that Wolves are going to pull off the funniest comeback of all time.
He probably will, you know.
Lad, they've pulled out 4 points in the last two. They're on something, mate.
Yeah.
I've got hope. But I think Ekitike does make the bench. And the reason being, Slot can't afford to not try in this game. And if it's 1-0 down, Ekitike will come on that pitch. If it's 0-0, Ekitike will come on that pitch. I think he'll risk him, and he'll be on the bench.
What score did you say, sorry?
Oh, I'm still sticking by my fun 1-0 game. I'm still sticking by my fun 1-0 prediction. That's my prediction.
We've got to have optimism, Lou. Look, I predicted on the Anfield Index last night, Lou, 3-1 Arsenal. And the reason being is you can't just shake off this form, Liverpool. It's not just a one-off, Lou. It's a long period. I'd love to fucking see it. Do you know what, mate? I hope Liverpool fucking do themselves proud. If they get beat, but fucking make sure you get out there and put it on Arsenal. This is where, Lou, people will massively kick off a slot. If our Liverpool team just rolls over tomorrow, and if I see that, mate, then he needs to go ASAP, because do you know what? That's not the Liverpool way. I've never seen a Liverpool fan base be so fucking worried for a football game, lads. These are champions. There's players in our team, Lou, who've won the Premier League twice, Champions Leagues, Carabaos, fucking FA Cups, Club World Cups, the fucking lot. We've won everything. And we can't be going there worried, regardless of who they are. Liverpool shouldn't fear anyone. And that for me, mate, is not Liverpool like. And I've never seen you the way you are with them. And it's sad to see. But I hope Liverpool make an account of it. But what's your thoughts then? Do you think I think Ekitike does make the bench, Lou? I think we've got no choice but to put him on it.
Yeah, I think he makes the bench. I think he'd rather have him and not need him than need him and not have him, so to speak. That's probably the mindset. I wouldn't be risking him, though, at all. I think with all due respect, we're not in the title race. We've got a Champions League campaign still to push for. We're still in the FA Cup. I don't think this is the match to risk, and we don't want to get in that Daniel Sturridge rhythm of rushing back quick because we desperately need an attacker, and then he gets injured again and rinse and repeat. So makes the bench, doesn't play, and I think 2-0 Arsenal. I cannot see a way of us breaking down that back line, which has been elite this season, to say the least. Cannot see a way of us doing it with Gakpo and makeshift wingers up front.
Do you know what? Tarkeen, I'm shit with spelling, lads. I'm fucking sorry. Do you know what I mean? I've been saying some mad shit. My phone has mad typos and everything, so I can't spell fuck all at the minute. My brain's frazzled because of the Reds. But he said, mate, we struggle to beat Wolves at home 2-1. I reckon it will be close, to be honest. But we've got to make it close. Look, I think Liverpool, I can see them getting beat tomorrow just because I think it's hard to shake off the form we've had. But look, if we give it an account of ourselves, we can all take a defeat if Liverpool play well. But I hope they go out there and put Arsenal under pressure, make it difficult for them. But Reds, we'll wrap it up. Keep the faith. It's hard at the minute, but I mean, let's be honest, right? If we could get a point out of this, we'd take it all day. I think the manager probably would. And it's not one to really moan about. Where people will moan about is if Liverpool just get absolutely slapped about tomorrow and they're not showing any fight, not getting into tackles, giving them all the space in the world. We dare see a fucking situation whereby players aren't running out of the box. I think that's where people will get fucked off with the manager again. But Reds, keep the faith and let's see how we get on tomorrow. Up the Reds.